everybody. It's Monday morning. Happy Monday. So as I said, I'm getting down to the last of my dip. So what we're going to dip today is the last of my Skoal spearmint pouches. These have been amazing. Hillary sent me a whole roll of these, and these are the last. This is the last of them. So, cheers. Those are good. All right, I'm just waking up. But good morning. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh, on the YouTube network, whatever they call it. So been thinking about things I'm going to be doing on the channel as of things are as in the coming times. As my last couple videos have been of me digitizing this cassette, Section 8. This is an old punk band from Oakville that I loved, and this isn't on YouTube anywhere. So I actually requested by I think one of the members of the band. I'm digitizing it. So I've gotten about, 40 minutes into the first side, and there's still 2 more songs that the tape's kind of raggedy, you know what I mean? Parts of it play well, parts of it play don't, so I'm trying to figure out how to boost up the raggedy parts. So, but there's a lot of cassettes that I have that I've actually looked for on YouTube for the music, and I haven't been able to find. So I think I'm going to be starting to do that, digitizing some of the most influential cassettes I used to have as a teenager, in my 20s, because I have thousands of cassettes, and I've been going through them all. Another one is this one that I want to do. This is by an artist named David Keys, who I think died a number of years ago. He was a Toronto kind of avant-garde songwriter, and this is a phenomenal album. This is an interesting one. Oh, I want to do this one. This is the Problem Children's demo. Fuck yous all. This is great. This was I've listened. I don't know if this tape will even play. I played it so much. It was huge. This is an interesting one that I'm going to try to throw up. This was a cassette that was like, it's not punk rock at all. It's like marching band music and shit. But a lot of punk rockers had it, especially in the circles I ran in. It's songs. This is called Songs of Anarchism and Revolution, and it's kind of traditional songs from around the world. It's got a little booklet, and it's a really nice little package. It's got a little booklet. It's all international, like Guantanamera from Cuba, Hey Hey Down with the Police from pre-1917 Russia, anti-czarist song. The Laughing Policeman, recorded during the British miners' strike. There's a couple of Yiddish anarchist songs. Vat Oif, I think, I'm probably murdering that. Awake is what it translates to. Le Triomphe de Anarchie from France. Milonga del Payador, anarchist song from Argentina. And Le International, which is the theme song of the World Revolutionary Movement since 1871. So yeah, this is a definite interesting historical piece. Songs of Anarchism and Revolution. So I'm going to try to digitize this and put it up. It's interesting music. A couple more cassettes I found that are of interest to me is now this is one by Joe Hall. And there's lots of Joe Hall up on the YouTube, but this cassette isn't up. This moved me in a way that no recording has ever moved me by a solo guy with a guitar. I'll get this up and you'll see what I mean. This is phenomenal music. This is I can't even express. My original copy of this cassette I lost, and Joe himself actually made me a dupe of it. So this is a copy that Joe gave me himself. So I'm going to try to get that up because Joe's actually retired from the music business now. So very sad. Now this is an interesting thing to me. This guy here, Robert J. Nesbitt. Now the music on this tape is fucking shit. Okay, it's hippie drivel, right? But the important thing about this guy is Rob Nesbitt. Now he was about 5 years old. Like when I was 14. No, he was older. When I was about 14 is when I met him, and he was like 21, I guess. And I was wearing a Sid Vicious t-shirt, and he liked the Sex Pistols. And I was down at the arcade where we all used to buy dope, right? And so he started talking to me. He was a very outgoing guy. And he's like, hey, man, I like your t-shirt. And I was like, well, thank you, And so we had a smoke together. And I always carried a journal with me because I wrote all the time, right? Ever since I was 12 or 13, I carried a journal and written poetry in it. And he asked me what my journal was all about, and I said, well, I write poetry. And he asked if he could read it, and so I was very shy, but I said, yeah. And he gave me a book that he had self-published of his own poetry. Now, looking back on it now, reading it now, it's like, oh, God, he was a horrible writer. But at the time, I hadn't read much poetry, and it was genius to me. And this guy was so encouraging of me pursuing art, right? He knew how important it was for me to be a writer, to me, and stuff like that. And the day before I moved to Peterborough, like as I was getting drunk up in my bedroom in Oakville, my last night in Oakville, moving to Peterborough the next day, Rob called me, and he called me on the phone. He used to come like visit me at school, and he was older, but he used to come visit me and smoke indoors at school and stuff, and hang out. And he called me up, and he said, "I hear you're moving." And I said, "Yeah, I'm moving to Peterborough. I'm going to try to be a writer." And he's like, "Well, write hard, man, and all the best." And yeah, they were words of encouragement that meant more to me than that. That's one of the most important phone calls I've ever had in my entire life. Those are words I keep with me to this day. I still try to honor Rob's memory. Rob killed himself a few years after I left Oakville, and he was not a very stable guy, but his words of encouragement have often been what has driven me to write and to make music and to write theater. And yeah, so I hope I've done him proud because he meant an awful lot to me. So I might try to digitize some of that music it's pretty awful, but it's important to me. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go through some of my old punk tapes from Toronto and try to get copies of them up on YouTube because there isn't any. So, and it's important to document important things. So, all right, that's about it. Oh, I'm also Suit and Tie Dip and Chew guy suggested that I do more comprehensive descriptions of some of the harmonica pieces I have, some of the more rare collectible pieces I have, and do more in-depth, go through them more in depth. And so I'm going to work on that as well, research the history of some of those pieces, and get little videos like that up. And, I'm in a bit of a songwriting lull right now, so I'm going to be doing some other things. But even when I'm in a lull, I'm still more prolific than most people, I think. So yeah, so I get something up every day. So all right, well, thanks for your views and your subscriptions, and I'm losing people again. I'm getting more dislikes. So, but whatever, gonna do as I do. I hope you're all good and well. Stay free. Be the best you that you can be. And I will see you later in the meth end of town in Sound Kitchen Studios with me, Dirty Pat.